In today's training, though, we're going to talk specifically about how to charge more based upon Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So we're going to start with just describing what this is. And this one's, if you've ever done a ton of studying on psychology, or if you have a psychology background, you're probably this is going to be a little bit review. But in general, Maslow's hierarchy of needs is basically a psychological model that shows exactly how people kind of move up in desires, needs, and really just like life, I don't even know what you call it, like basics, right? So every human on the planet will always start here. We always have to have our physiological needs solved before we can move up to the next level. Physiological needs have to do with water, shelter, clothing, food, right? We need air to breathe. We need our bodies to feel safe, right? And in some sort of like manageable point, just to be able to like capture the day, if that makes sense. Once you have all of these physiological needs set, you'll move up to safety needs. This is the second lever that we usually pull. Safety needs have to do with obviously feeling more secure in your space, right? So stable, protected, specifically from natural elements, but also other potential threats. So this is when we start to see a lot of this like community focus. We will start to build walls around ourselves, around our families, around our friends, and we won't typically branch out. This is the reason why people also say that usually humans can only maintain contact with about 150 individuals. You've heard that stat before. That typically comes from this. We have safety needs. 150 people is big enough. Anybody outside of that seems to be like an extra, basically. Really? We're very careful around. Yeah, there's a lot of like science around like how many people you can maintain like really, really close relationships with, and that's usually somewhere between 5 and 7 is what they quote. And then 150 is about the size of your actual community. You don't usually extend like a lot of energy into relationships outside of that amount, which is interesting. Now, I've never seen an actual study that says this, that 150 is the definitive, but it's kind of shorthand. So in general, once you're physiological,
people come and go from there.
Yes. Okay. And this is really interesting. And this is super, super critical when it comes to D2C or marketing or anything. You can dip up and down throughout all of these in different periods of your life. There have been times where I've been way up here, and then 2 years later, I'm way down here. Just depending on where you are in life and how your life goes. So, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mean that. I meant more about the list of 150 people. So people come in and go from that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's a good call. So from what I have read, and again, these are more anecdotal articles that I'm reading. It's not like studies. And that's why I wish somebody would study this further. I think it probably ebbs and flows. So do I know 150 people? Probably. Do I talk to 150 people consciously? No. Like I probably keep in direct contact with maybe 20 to 25. And I keep in like close contact, meaning weekly contact with maybe 5 to 7. And that's unfortunately, a little bit of that might be due to the digital age and the internet. Some of that honestly is just due to lack of proximity. Like we live indoors a lot, especially in the US. So yeah, we're often not out making friends, unfortunately.
So if we have like max 30 people we're kind of in contact with, how do we get to 150?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's a really good question, because if you're sitting here where you're like in between these two boxes, in between like, okay, my physical needs are good to go. I feel safe where I am. Now I want this piece of it, love and belonging, right? So the need to kind of receive affection or connect with people, be a part of a community. It used to be, and it doesn't happen much anymore, but it used to be that you got this from the neighborhood you lived in. So we used to go out a whole lot more. We used to see our neighbors a lot more, especially in like the early like 1800s, 1900s. There was a lot more of this like, you know, barn raising, and like we'd go out to churches a lot, and like we'd seek out community because it was a part of our culture. Now, community building is not a part of the culture. In fact, individualism is highly prized in the US. So it's harder to get, but you can still get it. It takes a lot more mental effort, because you have to seek out physical experiences. And you have to actually like go outside and walk out your door, which I am very bad at. Let me just tell you, I'm in my office by myself all the time, just because I'm like in here working and I'm like grinding away and I'm trying really hard to stay focused. And I have to force myself these days to go out and actually like connect with people in the real world. So it's a habit. This is more of a habitual behavior that we've kind of lost a little bit over time.
I was
Go ahead.
Just okay. So like 2 days ago, I threw a birthday party with my brother, right? For my brother.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was trying to like invite as many people as I knew to it, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I was really just trying to struggle to remember like all these people. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, you and both.
And then
Yes.
like it's like, do I really know 150 people? How many people do I talk to? Like.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know. It's quite interesting when you start looking at it, and this is half the reason why in today's like markets and really in today's US culture, people are like starving for belonging. This piece has completely broken off. So we used to be over here, self-actualization used to be like kind of a big thing in the US where people were trying to go after personal growth, self-fulfillment, those type of things. And then we kind of crumbled back down to here. Especially during COVID, this stopped quite a lot. People don't care about like personal growth when it's just like, I am so alone, I can't survive this, right? Loneliness is a big, big piece of why people purchase things, why they go different places, why they connect in different ways. Right now, we're starting to see a little bit of this. We're a little bit of in between these two blocks in the US, but since COVID, we've been sitting about here as a nation.
Oh, so about this, like you have to satisfy the lower ones in order to get to the higher ones?
Yep, you have to satisfy the lower ones. Yeah. So this is the reason why when COVID hit, we really kind of slipped back down into these three. And so you saw a lot of fear and panic behavior because when these three are not taken care of, people get real scared and they start to self-protect, right? So we did a lot of bubbling. We bought a lot of toilet paper. We stayed at home. We sanitized a lot. Now that we're out of COVID, we're kind of back in here a little bit, getting a little bit upwards, meaning the entire country is trying to like elevate a little bit back out because they don't feel as unsafe physically anymore. So now we're going after love and belonging again. We're trying to find esteem, those type of things. So yep. Each one of these, according to Maslow, has to be solved in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Okay, last two on here. Esteem is really interesting. So this says about being respected and achieving specific things in your life. This one has it classified in two different categories. Really, the desire to respect yourself, so self-esteem, right? And then the desire to have respect from others within your community. So this has to do with the way you're seen, perception. So this, Leslie, your question of just like, how do I get these people to agree with me? Well, this is what they're struggling with. Is they want other people inside this ecosystem to believe their value is still worthwhile. So they fight tooth and nail to make sure that they don't lose ground on their ideas. This is typically where that comes from. So I've got all four of these.
If the company's survival is on the line.
I know, 100%.
It throws out the window because we're going down.
100%. So if we're not making money, all of a sudden you'll go down here. You'll go back to like, I need to feel safe in here, which means I'm not going to spend money. I'm not going to collaborate with my team. I'm just going to survive, right? If the business is doing well, we'll come back up here where it's just like, now I just want to get better. I'm going to invest time into the team. I'm going to buy trainings for them. I'm going to get them pizza this week. Like, yeah, I mean, this happens everywhere. Happens in businesses, happens in the culture, happens between like relationships, all over the place. So yeah, it's really interesting psychological model to study. The top one, which is a difficult one because it's self-actualization in my experience, typically one that doesn't stick very well. This is hard for people to try and aim for because they have to have a lot of stuff going well for a pretty long time before they start looking for this. So this is personal growth, self-fulfillment. It's difficult for people to focus on this though, because usually one of these is crumbling at some point. So they'll have to dip back down and focus. Okay. Now this particular training is going to apply. I should stop before we move on. Any questions on how Maslow's hierarchy works?
Yeah. So the one at the top, it sounds a lot like that individualism that you're talking about, but like it kind of isn't, I guess, or it's different.
Yeah, so individualism is a little bit separate from this just because this has to do with what people are trying to solve, not how they feel about themselves or about like what their focus is in life, if that makes sense. So I need to solve physical needs, safety needs. I need love and belonging. I need self-esteem or esteem from other people. And then I really, really crave personal growth, but I'm doing all of that as an individual. Does that make sense?
Okay.
In contrast, a lot of other countries, especially in Europe, there's a lot of countries that do this. It's very communal, right? It's very community. I still need all these things, but I'm going to do it with my community, not just by myself. The U.S. is weird because we are very individually focused society.
Yeah.
Whereas not so much in other places of the world. So yeah.
In Germany, like when you go out, it's like all these places, people just walk around. It's not this driving thing, right? You know?
Yes. Well,
For
and it's
example.
interesting. I mean, if you go down to like the Latin American countries, family is huge. It's such a big piece of culture and how they actually build their economy and their ecosystems. Like it's all about the family and you don't deviate. Yeah. You don't leave the family. You stay with the family. Everything's about the family. Not so much in the U.S. In the U.S., it's very much like, you're 18, get out. Like, go live your life. And that's just, that, again, like...
That is so true.
Culture is weird, but it plays a huge part in how people purchase things and honestly, just how they behave in general. So, yeah.
Yo, I think I found an interesting angle here. Do you guys know those people who go to the gym, for example, or really take care of themselves, and they're like, I'm doing this for myself? But lo and behold, they're actually doing it for esteem.
Yes.
So that could be an angle right here.
100%. There's so many different angles inside here. And this, okay. So this leads us to this next section. We're going to do a tiny little exercise because I want to see how you guys perceive Maslow's, right? So we've got basically 5 different things that we're trying to identify. I want to walk through this little exercise first, and then we're going to look at some brands to see where the brands sit on the hierarchy, because you can see it very clearly. Once you start going through this, it's like some of these brands are only solving this, some of them are solving this. And the higher you go on this particular model in the hierarchy, the more you can charge. The higher you go, the more you can charge. And that's what we're going to work on today. This is the reason why I'm like, really, really to sink your teeth into this, because raising your prices has nothing to do with the value of your product. Value and price are separate from each other. We assign price, customers assign value. And all of that comes down to what are we actually solving here?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So it feels weird that the higher you go, the more you get paid, but the lower floors are of bigger weight, if you know what I mean.
These are honestly probably critical to your survival as a human. Yeah. Like if these crumble, you're done. Like you can't.
Yeah. So how is it that I get paid less if I do the more important shit, you know?
It's a great question. The only reason for this is because these are very difficult to solve. This is not all that difficult to solve, especially in the US and especially in today's marketplaces. You can go to the corner store and get food. Now it might be Cheetos, right? Might not be nutritious food, but it's food. So this is the reason why the companies that go after these type of things really struggle. Walmart sits here, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah, and Amazon sits here. That's why they're $1 billion company. They solve all of the needs of Maslow's, and they're one of the only companies in the world in history to have solved for that. Now, this is the interesting part, though. Again, for D2C people, like we're creative strategists or we're working on ads or whatever we're doing, which one of these are we actually solving as a company? That depends on the company. But as a creative strategist, I can probably change how we frame it so that people will think we're solving something else. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to lie, obviously. Like I am big time, because I teach psychology and we have to be so careful. You have to do this ethically, right? If you don't actually solve something in love and belonging, don't tell people you do. That's lying. But if you can solve something in here, it's a good idea to go in there and reframe your offer, reframe your website, your landing pages, your copy, whatever it is, to show people that you might think we solve this, but we actually solve this. And that's critical. You need that. Yeah.
So for mine, like Foxtrot are more honey, whatever brand. I don't know. Yeah. I feel like we would be like the love and belonging, because we're always like, you know, like, you're part of our community, your dog, blah, 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 you know, and then Red Barn would probably be more esteem, because they're more sage and education and more like family owned and stuff like that. Yep.
I think you guys sit in between these two. So, and again, you don't really need to go up. Like if you're making revenue as a brand and you're doing well and growing, and when I say growing, I mean even like 15 to 20% a year worth of growth is good growth. That's still growth, right? If you're sitting here and you're finding success, don't try and move it. Just try real careful not to go down on the hierarchy. Because then, yeah, your prices will suffer. People will start thinking that you're not as good as you are. That's what happened when Target came into the space and Walmart lost out to Target, because it was like Target started to solve this, whereas Walmart was still here. So Target solves this, and now all of a sudden it's like, well, I can't do that. Trader Joe's solves this. So yeah. Oh, a good call out. Liquid Death, 100%. That's the reason why they're so good at what they do. And we're actually going to go through this exercise because I'm excited to show you guys. Okay. Exercise that we're going to do, we are going to look at water as a category. And I want you guys to tell me how much you think you would pay for each one of these examples. And then I'll show you how much they actually cost. What we're looking at here is specifically, what do we think they solve on the hierarchy, right? So very first one, how much do you think this bottle of water costs?
I would get it from the tap.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Right.
have access.
Nah.
Gavin's like, I would just go get a glass.
Crazy.
Okay, so free is what we're putting this at.
Is this like, yeah, what's the scenario? Like, are we in a kitchen?
Yes. Well, and I mean, you can pick any scenario you want. This is more Price is Right. How much do you think a bottle of water costs? Or this bottle of water in particular, I would say. How much?
$1.50.
$1.50. Okay, all right. How much for this one?
Oh my god.
$4.
$5.50.
Leslie.
Is it glass or plastic?
On. She's like getting these. This one is plastic, but you can
Okay.
say it's glass. Okay, so we'll say 4 somewhere in there. Okay, $1.50 for the
Damn,
first
it's
one.
expensive in the U.S. Whoa.
Not cheap to get Pellegrino.
Hell no.
I don't even like it. It's like salty.
I love
I don't
it.
like
I
it
am
either.
so into sparkling water. I'm like really.
I like bubbly.
Okay, yes, a little bit of flavor. Okay, 4 something for this one. How about this one?
Oh shit.
How much would you pay for this bottle
That's
of water? That's water.
I've seen
This,
it in Europe
this is a
before.
company called Nevis Water, and they actually do sell these bottles. And I'm going to show you the price eventually, but how much do you think
Is
you
it
pay?
what material is it?
What is the bottle made of?
Yeah.
Glass bottle.
Okay, that's like $13.50.
Yeah, I was going
20
to say
bucks.
15.
Interesting. Okay, $20. What about this one?
Oh shit.
What the hell?
This is actually a bottle of water, by the way.
Oh
And I'm going to
god.
show you how much this costs in a minute. But how much would you pay for this bottle of water?
$2K.
Oh, okay. Oh,
That's
you paid
probably
$2
like,
grand for this? Dang. All right. Okay. Any other guesses? We'll go through the prices here for you. Okay. First one. This
Yeah.
just Aquafina level, like just generic bottle of water, $1.49 is how much they can actually charge, and that's how much consumers will currently pay for it. This one is $3.19, so Leslie was like almost spot on. This one, $26.
I undershot that. So
Wow.
Not bad though, honestly. I'm like 26 is pretty close. This one sold for $60,000.
holy shit.
Now, if we go
That's
back
a-
to the Maslow's like hierarchy, how did they do this, right? How do you go from $1.49 to $60,000?
Water.
They just go higher.
It's all water. They're just solving something different psychologically. They didn't change the product. And this is the most interesting part about Maslow's that I'm like, all these brands out here are like, oh crap, we got to run more discounts. I'm like, all right.
No.
There,
No,
Don't do that.
is there a supply, like the last two, is there a supply issue? Like they only do
Yes.
a minimum run?
When we talk about pricing and value and charging more for what you already produce, the very first thing that we need to talk about is how you have presented yourself. How did you wrap yourself, right? Now, there's a reason why Paris Hilton can charge like the prices she does to get on a commercial. There is 100% a reason that Justin Bieber can charge what he charges to come and sing 2 songs at some like random place, right? I can't go in and be like, hey, I'm going to charge you $6 million for me to come in and sing 2 songs, because they're going to be like, who are you? Same thing for brands, right? Same thing for brands. Notoriety comes down to a couple different things. What you look like is critical because humans are very visual creatures. What you look like drastically changes what I think your value is. This is the reason why anytime you're doing any sort of like transformations, like if you watch any of those shows where people are doing body transformations or wardrobe transformations, the way you look changes entirely how much value you would put on you as a human. Now, that's not okay, but that's the reality of humans. Mm-hmm. Now, between these two, the way they look is kind of critical. This one, what does it remind you of?
Champagne.
Yeah, it's a wine bottle, right? It's a champagne bottle. I have some sort of already preloaded price as to what wine probably costs. So now I kind of know what this should probably cost, right? Your brain did that automatically. There was no way to know what this compared to, so it was difficult, right, to figure out what the value was. So after what you look like, this is a big piece of it. The second piece is what category are you in? If I can't tell, it's going to be really hard for me to put a value on this. Now, to Leslie's point, there was only one of these made ever.
Oh.
And that's the reason why he could charge $60,000 for this. This particular bottle is plated in like 14 karat gold. So the packaging has a lot to do with it. But in general, the more available it is, really, the less I really want to pay for it. If it's scarce, I might pay more for it, but only if there's something about it psychologically on this particular hierarchy that makes sense, right? It has to make a little bit of this emotional sense.
Also why there's like price gouging laws in emergency situations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the reason why the FTC exists. Because people can take advantage of this very, very quickly and easily. That's the reason why I always teach everybody, if you're going to learn psychology, if you're going to apply it to advertising, do it ethically. Do not do this just to make more money. It's not worth it. And it changes how people perceive categories. There's entire categories that people don't trust anymore, supplements being one of them, because they tried to go up without giving any sort of like signal as to why.
One of the biggest turnoffs for me, and I've had agencies try to get me to do this, is the like limited stock, almost out, only 5 left. Yes. And I'm like, I'm not going to do this to people.
Don't do it. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. Anytime you do any sort of like, limited time, anything really drives me nuts unless it's actually limited time. If this is your Black Friday thing, that makes sense because it's eventually going to end and there's a serious deadline to that. But if you just put it on there, like we only have 10 of these left, but we actually have 5,000 in stock, I don't like that. It's lying. That's lying.
Yeah, totally. I'm not going to ruin our brand reputation and like constantly have on our site that we only have 5 packs of bully sticks.
Oh, it drives me crazy. I would so much rather you do what we're going to do next. So we're going to roll through one category of brands and I'm going to show you where they are in the hierarchy so that we can start to see what this means. Like, how do we actually put this into play? But the last thing I want to show you on here, I want to see a judgment call real quick. Had I brought this entire training to you, but I showed you this instead of this, which one do you think would cause you to believe me more? This one or this one?
That one.
That one.
Yep.
Yeah. It matters so incredibly much what you show people, right? What image you choose, what creator you partner with, what background they have, how the colors look. It matters. Because this looks like a child's toy.
Yeah,
totally. And this like has Kent State University on it. It's got like some proof, like authority proof down here. It describes everything. It's very beautiful, right? Had I come in here and showed you guys this today, it still would have resonated, but it wouldn't have done as much as showing you this. So what you present, man, I'm like keen on this year. Wrap things very carefully. If you're going to give somebody a gift, be careful that the wrapping is really carefully chosen. Okay.
I have a question real quick.
Yes. Go ahead.
This entire concept is more about branding and like macro strategy, right? You can't be like, okay, I wanna make more money, so I'm just gonna put in this concept some higher need. You can't do that, right?
Not easily, no. Not easily. So I have, and I struggled today. I was going to go into scripting, but then I decided to stick with branding because I think this is honestly more important. Scripting, when you start to try and push your product upwards in the hierarchy, that really comes down to shifting between talking about features, right? So this product can do XYZ for you, to talking about what it actually changed in your life. Does that make sense? So let me go back up here because we could just touch on this for a little bit. So when it comes to scripting, you have a couple different things that you can probably do to try and push yourself upwards in the hierarchy
By the way,
without having to. Yeah,
I'm getting the idea that you're trying to show something on your screen.
Oh no, not yet.
Oh, okay.
I had to go up in my notes. I have my notes on my side of my screen so I don't lose my place. But
All right.
I'll show you the brands in just a second. So we'll go into that. But thank you, because typically I forget that I'm supposed to be showing something. So thank you. Okay. So when you're trying to move up, right? So typically we usually say things in D2C like, I struggle with dry skin until I found this brand, and then this brand helped me do XYZ. That's very low status, right? And I'll pull this back up actually, because this is good for everybody to see. So on the hierarchy, if we start using terminology like, I have dry skin and it really bothered me, we're in here, right? Physical needs is what we're telling people we solve. We only solve a physical need. If we start telling people, like our script starts talking about, like, I've reached the point where I'm just really protective about what I put on my skin, we're now coming up here. Because we're not talking about what we solve. We're not solving dry skin. Mm-hmm. We're now talking about the fact that I keep myself safe. If you wanted to start talking about, like, you know what, I'm so careful about what I put on my skin because it's really a way to show myself that I love myself. And this is really important to me this year. You've now moved to here. The script needs to change. And that's across the board. And this is the toughest part because you're going to get some brands that push back on this. And they're going to be like, why are you being so flowery with your language?
Yeah.
Well, if you want to charge high prices, I got to change the way we talk.
Do you think you should aspire to always be in the higher side, or can you just kind of spread out and make concepts on every level?
I would make concepts on every level just because some of your customers would be here. Some of your customers might be here. Some of them might be here. Yeah, if you can branch it, because not everybody's on the same plane when they're ready to buy, but everybody's trying to solve something. So yeah,
because I am in Teep Nightmare. I'm like 4 months behind whatever we're learning in this class.
Totally fine. This is why they're recording.
But if you're thinking like the funnel, right, and you have the trigger and the this and the this, they would live in different places on this.
Yeah,
chart, right? So.
Yep.
Like maybe physiological or safety would be like the trigger. Exactly. And then the exploratory could be like esteem, right? Because I want to be sure I'm getting the right one. I want to be sure my friends will accept me. I want to be sure I don't like showing this cool sweatshirt and they all nerd.
100%. You got it. So what's on here? Trigger ads, right? Exploration ads, evaluation ads, purchase ads. Now that's only if you want to put them in all of those categories. Right. You could also do TEEP in just physiological needs as well. And that's where strategy comes in.
Yeah.
And this is why I keep telling people, this is all layering. Like marketing, and especially in paid advertising, is layers on layers on layers on layers on layers. And you have to know which layers you're working on. Because in general, all I need to know is where do we want to go as a brand? Who do we want to be known as a brand? Then we pick one. We say, this is our shtick. Like, this is what we're going to go after as a brand. Now, I might want to branch my whole TEEP out and see if we can get some people to come up to here or down to here. But I would much rather just all the TEEP goes towards love and belonging because it's consistent. So for you, I wouldn't try and branch the whole thing. I might just stick within your range of like expertise and then TEEP in these two models. Does that make sense? Hopefully.
Yeah, I have another question. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. I'll go for it.
One of our brands is like totally struggling. I think it's the website, but who knows? It could be a million different things, right? And that's Posturestruck. So I'm wondering, like, if we are going to live in the love and belonging, which is kind of where I think we live, but we use a lot of puns. and things like that. So like I feel like that maybe dumbs us down a little bit. So then should I work, since I get to be growth and retention, basically the person talking to everybody. For Valentine's Day email, I put forever your Valentine, but forever.
Okay. Yep. You're using and this is super interesting.
I want to know if I need to stop doing that so that people take us seriously.
No, it's only if the brand wants to elevate. If the brand wants to become like just the most wonderful, like if they want to become like the Maserati of pet brands, then yes, change your language. But if they're not concerned about that and they just want to compete here, keep it. You're using something called, you guys know what shibboleths are? Have you heard of that term?
No.
Shibboleths. Okay, so shibboleths are basically like slang terms that only in groups would understand. Only people who know what I'm talking about would know this term. So shibboleths for like D2C creative strategists, CAC is a shibboleth.
Okay.
Because like if I say CAC to my husband, he's like, carrot? What? What is it? What is that? But he's got shibboleths because he's in 3D printing, right? That's all he does. And he talks to me about it. And I'm like, I don't know any of the terms you're saying, but great. Shibboleths are what keep us branded. So that's why I think you should just keep them in there. If the like fur baby community loves those puns, keep them.
Okay. Yeah. Cause we use a lot of like possum. That's so possum.
Yes. Okay. See, and the community might love that. So I'm like, if you found one, keep it, because they're hard to find, unless you're really involved in the community or you're just really aware creative strategist. So yeah, keep it. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next piece of this here. We'll come back to it in a second. All right. We're gonna look at. Let me make sure this is actually good. We're gonna look at how many do I have? 5 different brands. These are all inside the outdoor apparel category. And I want you guys to try it and see if you can figure out which part of the hierarchy they are actually solving. So this is our first one. If you guys don't know these guys, Uniqlo, they're a very interesting brand, but I want to see just at first glance, are they lower or are they higher or in the middle of the hierarchy?
In the middle?
Higher.
Okay. Oh, we've got some split. Okay. Why do you think higher, Gal? Let's start with that.
So I chose middle.
Oh, you chose middle. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who was it that chose?
Edon chose it.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay, so why do you think higher? That's interesting.
So 2 reasons. Can you go all the way up?
Yep.
I judged everything off the first picture. So 2 reasons. One, like these models are kind of niche models. It's not the usual look they go for. And secondly, you can see like their looks are niche, yet they look like a community. Like they respect each other.
Okay.
That's why I picked middle, because I thought it was community. Because almost all
community focus.
Yeah.
Okay, I would agree with you guys. I think this is somewhere in this community focus. So if we go back to our hierarchy here, I think they're probably somewhere in here. Yeah. Maybe more love and belonging, like smack dab in the middle, because that's the way their images look. Right? Now, the interesting part is, like, you've got people interacting with each other more than you have us looking at the clothing. The clothing is really interesting, because I'm like, technically speaking, you're not really showing me a whole lot about the clothes. I know a lot about these people, though, just by glancing at them. So, okay, middle of the road. All right, we're going to move on to Cotopaxi. These guys are a competitor in this space as well. Where do these guys sit? Lower, mid, high on the hierarchy?
I don't know. It looks like practicality kind of stuff. So
that's what I read too. I was like, this seems
would that be lower? Like
lower, yeah.
I don't know. Like,
dude, I'm caught between lower and the very top. This is so weird.
That's what I'm thinking. Like,
I think lower because
it feels like they can charge a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They have the outdoors clothes is like safety, right? Like that's safety stuff, like safe from the rain, safe from
But then it's very identity too.
Lightning.
Yeah, like they're running on the beach with pets, smiling.
Yes.
I'm an adventurer kind of thing, right? Esteem.
Yeah.
up there.
Lots of adventure. There's lots of adventure in this one.
It's kind of split, right?
Yeah. Compared to these guys. Now, this is the interesting part, is originally we thought these were in the middle.
Yeah.
Do we still think that now that we've seen two?
I mean,
I don't even put these brands as the same. Like this one seems like the Gap compared to the Outdoor.
It is.
Yeah. Which is interesting. Like they have very similar clothes in here, but just the way that they're presenting it, right? This and this, similar. Not exactly the same, but pretty similar in that category.
Oh gosh, I didn't even think of that.
This is what I find super interesting about branding and image choice in particular, especially when it comes to ads or advertising, meaning landing pages and PDPs, those type of things. If we can't tell, and we're marketers, we can't tell what you solve, the customers are never going to be able to tell what it is that you solve, which is the reason why you're going to get a lot of people very sensitive to this price, because they're charging $270 for a brand that sits about here. I'm like, I don't know that you can command those prices. So going back to our original purpose, because we went down a rabbit hole, if you're going to charge high prices or increase your prices, you cannot sit here, because like we talked about, these are too easy to solve these days. This is a nice coat, but it kind of looks like something I can get at Target.
True.
Yeah, right. And also those lower ones, like the ones in the lower are so common that like you don't have the scarcity. Like I'm in pet food, such a crowded space. Like if we tell them we want to charge you $100 and something, they'll be like, great, I'll go buy Purina.
Yes. 100%. And again, I realize that some of this is not up to us as creative strategists. Some of this just like they give me the price and I go sell it. That's my job. But you do get to decide what pictures you put in that ad, what type of language you use.
That's true.
What type of videos you use, what type of creator you're going to partner with. Yeah. You get to decide what we look like in the meta ecosystem and everywhere else.
And this could be like, I don't know. Like I'm kind of at Red Barn, like I'll embrace it. Like $80 for a bag of food. Yeah, it's expensive. But what do you get? You get this, you get this, you get a longer living pup, a more healthy pup, a pup that's not scratching all the time. Like, you know, you can go buy the stuff and then you can pick up more crap in your backyard. Your dog poops less. So what do you do?
Oh my gosh. And it's interesting when we look at like value versus price, because I know that people are going to come in here and be like, well, you didn't tell me how I could increase my prices. I'm like, I'm not concerned about increasing. You can bump this up to $770 today if you wanted to. That's how easy it is to manipulate price in this market. You can just go in the back of Shopify and go 770 and you're done. My concern is, can you actually justify what you just changed? These people cannot. And that's really interesting to me because what is this one? $149? This actually looks a lot nicer than this does.
Yeah,
I'll go buy this one. Looks like a nice product to me. Yeah.
Like, what is that lady wearing on the left of that jacket? This one? Like this? No, the girl in the right.
This one.
Like what?
Yeah, really.
I
don't get that.
I don't know. It looks like maybe keys.
It's an unzippable from the bottom thing. Like what?
I have no idea. It's a windbreaker. I have no idea. Yeah. Well, and again, they've got the wrong things next to each other. You've got some winter. You've got a little bit of spring. You've got weird bag
accessories.
Yo.
I'm so confused. Yes. Yep. Okay.
Do you think it's fair to assume
why it's 40% off?
100%, right? Yep.
All right, 40% off, $270 for low need. So do you think it's fair to assume these guys have a horrible CAC?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would say these people are probably not doing very well. Their ads are very expensive. They're struggling to scale. They probably make a decent amount of revenue, but they're not growing much. Now, I don't know that for sure. Cotopaxi's been a very interesting one to watch because they've kind of done this over the last couple of years. They do well, they don't. They do well, they don't. But yeah, I'd assume that CAC is monstrously high.
I got a question about the pyramid.
This. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, can you head back to the pyramid?
Yep.
Okay, so like for you to charge like, I don't know, higher pyramid prices, does your brand need to solve everything at the bottom as well?
No. That's a very, very good question. Your brand shouldn't solve much. You just need to stick within one category.
Okay, I get that.
And that comes down to how you present yourself. Again, so for Sarah, I want to present myself as a pretty high paid consultant. So what would I do, right? I need a better website. I need probably to stop wearing sweatshirts on my calls. Like I need to probably do X, Y, Z, right? And my presentation has to change. If I want to stay where I'm at in the market, I don't really need to change anything because I'm already attracting those type of customers. If you want to attract somebody different, especially like in the dating or the relationship world, you cut your hair. Right? You wear different shirts outside. You go to different places. You don't go to the same park. You go to different coffee shops.
You buy True Classic.
You buy True Classic, you know? And that is the most interesting part about it is if you want to attract something different, the only thing you change is the outside of whatever it is you are trying to present to people because they won't even come close to you unless the outside looks like something they're interested in. And that sounds superficial, but that's human. And I can't account for that. That's just how people are built. The other side of it, though, as soon as they become attracted to your brand, to your ads, to your person, the next thing that needs to come out of your mouth or out of your brand is something that aligns with them, right? If you're an empathetic marketer, you'll lean more towards the way Sarah talks just because that's what I try and present because I really want to be an empathetic, very conscious marketer. And that's what I attract in, very empathetic, conscious marketers. So yeah, it's a mirror. It's just a mirror is all it is.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Down a rabbit hole.
Okay.
Yes.
This is a short one. We don't need a long answer to this. Do you think every concept you make needs conscious thought of the Maslow hierarchy of needs?
Of this specific model, no. Not like conscious. I don't think you need to like paste this anywhere and try every single time. This is more keep it in your head. If you can use it as like a reference. So like once a week, I'd look at this.
Oh, okay.
What? Wait, you would look. Okay.
Not every day, once a week. And there's a reason for that, but I'm trying to give a short answer.
What are we looking at?
The actual pyramid. Take a look at this once a week.
Yeah. So would it be fair to say, like, the reason I was so confused is because I improved this theory so many times in my head in like fucking 10 seconds. So the instant connection I saw is whenever you're trying to use your band voice, this is when you need to use the hierarchy of needs.
Yeah.
But then I was thinking, okay, so when do you use the branding? Do you do it in every ad? Kind of connects to the last lesson a little bit.
Yeah.
Dude, my brain is exploding.
I mean, yes, technically speaking. The only reason I say maybe not to use this every single day is because if you start to try and adopt so many different systems and use them constantly, your brain sometimes just can't, right? And this is why they say typically the brain can concentrate on something for 20 minutes and that's it. And then it needs a break. It can't focus. So if you bring this into your everyday ecosystem and it's helpful, then yeah, every day would be probably ideal. But I have a feeling that if you look at this for too long, you'll start to go off in the weeds and think you're saying this, but you'll end up saying this or this.
Okay.
Interesting.
So that's why I'm like, synthesization for the brain is really weird. It likes repetition, but it doesn't want repetition intensely. It wants it like a little bit, just a little bit every now and then.
Have you tried using this with like chat for like ad ideas? Like this brand lives in this area and would like to go up or would like to go down, or can you create ads that live in this area? Like, I'm just curious.
Yeah, I have, and I find that chat is too literal. Chat, Claude, Gemini, all of them. Because they've never experienced what this is like in the real world, they tend to get really literal, where it's just like, you know, you want your dog to stay safe. Give them the safest safety. They've never felt safety. And I'm like, too much. Too much. So you can try it, but I don't even have a prompt around this because every time I've tried the prompt, it's too literal and it drives me crazy. Anyway. Okay. Last couple ones here. We looked at Cotopaxi. I still think these guys are lower-ish. Let's look at Patagonia. What do these guys solve? Like low, mid, high.
The dude on the right. What am I watching? Is this even a dude?
I think it's like two girls that are caught in the rain. I don't know. I mean, in general, the interesting part is this is a weird face to put on your hero image. I'm like, what is going on?
100%. Do you look like you're just about to get kidnapped?
Oh my god.
Odd photography that they're choosing, but that's fine. Okay. Does anybody know low, medium, high on the hierarchy here?
I want to say they're high just because they're expensive.
I want to say they're high because they have French.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's an identity thing. Like, it's like I am adventure, kind of.
Yeah. I am adventure. Look at that. Yeah, so if we go back here, I am adventure is like way up here. Yep. So Patagonia has done really good work, and they're so careful. I've watched them for years and years. They do not deviate from this vibe almost ever, including in their ads. So if you go look on like the Meta Library and just take a look at all their ads feel like this.
So how are their prices if that's the case?
Let's look at some puffer jackets here.
There's not much community going on. It's just like
$845.
They go up by themselves, you know. Yeah, that's expensive.
Yeah. So if we go to this one was $149. Cotopaxi, what did we say? $270.
These guys are the weird ones.
But it's 40% off. So technically it's
yeah, that makes
sense. That's true. I didn't even think of that. So yeah, technically it's cheaper. This one's $345, $289. I mean, this one on sale for $278. Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
How much do you think? I don't know. I feel like it might be a little chicken or the egg, right? Because could they have been this way without the brand recognition that they have? And how much are they purposefully living in that place on the hierarchy of needs? And how much did they stumble into it? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Patagonia, as far as I know, from what I know about the brand origins, they started this way. Like they purposefully set out to be this brand that was very conscious about the environment. That was like a big piece of what they started with. And these guys have been around for, decades. So they started with that piece of it, but then they also really pushed hard into the lifestyle, right? So that's why you see a lot of this lifestyle, but look at how many solo people. One person. Yeah. Here's a group. One person. So they're really, really, sorry, that was my son. They're really, really high, buddy. Can I come chat with you in a second? I'm almost done, okay? I'll be on this.
That's so cute.
Thanks, buddy. Oh, he must have had a hard day. So anyway, individualism. They are literally telling you, you are an individual. Individuals are only here. Self-actualization is where we go to be alone. This is personal growth. One person. This is all group. This is one person and one person only. So Patagonia is very, very good at the Maslow's hierarchy of needs because they're showing you this is only for you, nobody else. I think they're doing a great job on it. Patagonia's crushing. Okay.
Last couple ones here, I know their AOV is high.
Probably, yes. But I mean, I know that the people who buy from Patagonia are typically LTV is what they're going after. If you're a Patagonia buyer, you only buy Patagonia. You don't buy anything else. So I don't know. AOV, LTV, I'd have to do some digging to see if we could even find that information. But I'm assuming, the prices are
Where would like Columbia live? Are they also in this space? They're like a mini Patagonia light, right?
Let's see.
I don't think they're as expensive.
Wow.
And that's kind of stuff you would see in Costco, right? Wouldn't you
Costco.
see?
Yeah.
The Costco jackets.
Costco jackets. Oh, interesting.
You can't get Columbia in Costco. You can't get Patagonia in Costco.
Columbia, to me, again, feels almost like Cotopaxi. It's pretty similar.
I don't even like Columbia. It's not even water.
In feel, right? Now, they're almost identical. Look at that.
Really?
Very hard.
It's less confusing, at least, but
someone copied the wrong guy.
This is the interesting part, though. Isn't it funny that we go on to this brand, Columbia, and they feel a lot like everybody else, but Patagonia really feels different for some reason. Right?
Yeah.
The way they've shot the image choice, the individuals in here, and the
also
environments.
They are to your point, the LTV, they know people are going to buy, so it feels like they have to do a lot less explaining. They're not trying to tell you, like, this is why this is the best coat. This is why you should. It's like, look, here are the colors. Buy it or don't. We don't care.
100%. And this is why I'm like, oh my God, these brands are over here like, we need to change out our hooks. I'm like, your images don't even match the person you're trying to bring in. They also don't match your prices. So, I mean, you can change hooks, that's fine, but you're just going to blow through spend. Or you could get better photography, upgrade your entirety, the level of how your brand looks, and just charge higher price. Okay. I digress. Okay. And then we got 3 more minutes. Any questions on any of this?
Do you think there needs to be brand building before you can charge high?
Brand building in what respect? Because there's different
like actual campaigns. So if I just make a store that targets the higher, like the top square, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then make ads that support it. Do you think that I'll be fine, or there's no way I'll get like any sales or anything because for some reason?
Unless the website looks that way, all your social media reflects it, and basically the entirety of your planet that you built for your brand looks the same, your ads aren't really going to do that much because people are going to see the disconnect between the two planets. They're going to be like, the ads look like this is amazing, top level self-actualization on the hierarchy, but the ecosystem looks Target, and they're going to be like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So would it be fair to say that if you're going after esteem, you need a lot of followers?
Not necessarily, because esteem has to do with more self-respect.
Oh, sorry. The middle one. My bad.
Love and belonging.
Yeah, love and belonging.
If you're going after love and belonging in your ads, typically, this is what a lot of brands I think stick with, because testimonials, mashups stay right here. And it's pretty easy to sell to this particular one. If everybody else does it, I should probably do it too. So this comes down to, if you're working with a brand who's like, we want to charge higher prices, or we want to increase AOV, we want better LTV, we can always go back to them as a creative strategist and be like, listen, based upon all the stuff that I know about this psychological model, Maslow's hierarchy, you guys sit in the middle, which means we can't charge high prices until you upgrade this brand. I need you to go back, work on that logo, work on the colors, work on the frickin' imagery. Get me better photos, as clear and as crystal as you can. And then I can absolutely get you there 100%.
But then how do you do that? Because, like, we've seen so many brands trying to bridge to get to that higher one. And in doing so, I'm going through this right now with the podcast that I love, and they want to change and they want to grow. Yeah. And it's like, yes, but now you're growing at the expense of your current followers. So how do you get that? Like, how do you jump from love and belonging? Sorry, I know this is like an extra long question for a very short amount of time we have, but how would you go from love and belonging to like self-actualization? And you're like, wait, I thought we were this community. What the fuck? Like, what are we, like, then you're losing them, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is just like Sarah's personal opinion about life. You're not going to be able to keep everybody. Right. You're not going to be able to keep everybody.
Part of marketing is bringing them in without shedding.
Exactly. Well, and that's the toughest part about marketing is you want to shed. You want to. You don't want to keep all of the customers that may have come in when you were this entity, but now you want to change to this entity. And the reason for that is everybody morphs, including brands, right? Everybody loses friends at some point in their life because I just don't fit with that crowd anymore. And like, it's time for me to move on, right? We all just assume that the brand is static forever. As soon as it's this, that's all it can be. And I would like to propose that like brands morph just as much as humans do. And even if you want to move on, it's okay to lose the community as long as you're careful, right? So for that podcast that you're listening to right now, that's apparently morphing into a completely different entity. And you're like, what the hell, right? What they should have done is said, we are planning to make a change. We're going to start talking about XYZ. We're not going to talk about this anymore. We're moving in a different direction. If you want to stick with us, awesome. If you don't, we love you. Sorry. And move on.
That is so cool. Holy shit.
You got to be so careful. You have to tell people what you're doing.
I guess this would be a lot like Mr. Beast or even, what's it called? not death metal. I don't know. Liquid Death. Like they've grown, they've expanded, they've started sponsoring things. They've got now cookies, this, that, and the people who were like originally Mr. Beast fans are like, what the hell, man? What you're
definitely lost people, right? Yeah.
Oh my, well, and Mr. Beast lost millions, and he has millions still. I'm like,
he does.
We're so worried about losing things, and that's just a natural safety thing for humans. It's like I can't lose what I have, and I'm doing this right now. I'm trying to elevate my own brand, so I launched a new website and I changed all my branding. And I'm like, this is terrifying because I'm trying to tell people that I deserve to be paid higher prices and that I could also bring more value than I was bringing before. I'm terrified that people who have known me for 6 years might be like, what is Sarah doing? Like she used to be the cutesy, like cartoon girl. Why is she changing what she's doing?
Yeah, what's happening with Dinosaur Girl?
Yes, it's scary. It's so scary to leave those behind because that's what built the brand that I have. However, I know for me, at least, there's other things I want to talk about. And those things cannot be described with cartoons. So I have to elevate. I don't have a choice. We've hit like an evolution cap. If I don't elevate, I don't grow. So now, unfortunately, I have to leave some people behind, or I have to change a little bit about what I'm doing and how I'm presenting it.
So love and belonging is actually like kind of a lower price sort of thing, isn't it?
It is slightly, yeah. Just because it's one of those things where everybody's selling love. That's the reason why, like, what is it? Like Tinder exists, right?
Oh, yeah. And
the reason why all these dating apps, because selling love is like one of the easiest ways to make money.
Yeah.
It's much harder to sell consistency, discipline, like inner growth, because those are higher. This is the reason why they have matchmakers who are selling to the self-actualization crowd, the people at the top. Because those people are like, I have improved. Like, I have become. If you want to
go inner growth, you're not going to use Tinder, right?
100%, but they're still selling love and belonging. They've just repackaged it, right? So, I mean, this applies to the entirety of life, and this is the reason why Maslow was like, this goes everywhere in all aspects. It applies to everything. And all of it comes down to the fact that we should be allowed to change as humans, because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to change.
This is so interesting. Like, I have so many ideas for my Nerf War thing. It's just like, it's crazy, right?
I'm so excited.
Don't sell it as a community thing. You sell it as like a, like experience. Like, I like adrenaline. I like fun, like sort of thing, right? Like,
100%. And that comes down to upgrade that website, upgrade your images, upgrade how you look, right? Yeah. And then follow that with how you communicate, and people will just naturally be drawn to it.
Yeah, like if I make my videos more like tactical and like intense, right?
Yep.
Charge higher for it,
Higher, yeah. You could charge any price you want.
Doing this, all these people are laughing in community, whatever.
Yeah,
really
exactly.
Work, right?
Elevation is not a bad thing. I don't know why we got this in our head that like it's bad to look a certain way or to try and elevate our status. I'm like, that's the point. What else are we doing out here if we're not trying to get better about what we're doing?
Gavin, you're jacked, dude.
Holy
shit. Gavin, he's on it. He's on his life. Okay, we're 4 minutes past. You guys are great. Thank you for letting me gab and yak and yak and yak. We will be back next week. Actually, let me check that before I say that. Is it next week? Yes. Next week I will be here. The following week, last week of February, I am out for an event, E-Tail Palm Springs. So if anybody's going to that event, come find me. But otherwise, we'll be back next week.
I am not, but if you're in LA, hit me up.
Girl, I need to come out. I have a few events that I'm looking at in LA, so I'll look you up. Thank you guys.
Bye. Bye. Thanks so much.